Hi everyone, art journal page today, and I'm going to start by adding some texture to my page. Now I'm working in this sketchbook journal, so this is sketch paper, and a frequently asked question is about what kind of paper to work on. You can work on anything. If it's too thin, just glue 2 to 3 pages together. I've done art journaling in a simple plain newspaper, so you can do it on anything, almost on anything. So for the texture, I'm using a joint compound that I buy at the hardware store. Any kind of ready mixed paste works, like wood filler, and it's just cheaper, so that's why I use it. You can also use modeling paste if you have it, and whatever works for you. So I've picked this stencil to give my page some texture. I just think that I will protect this side with some masking tape. Forgot to put some. Here we go. So the joint compound won't get on the spiral. And let's start. It's just going to take some paste with this plastic, I don't know what to call it, spatula. And I'm just adding a little bit to this corner. And I'm not trying to be accurate or anything, just adding something to the background. Now I'm putting here some. This is quite random. The only thing is that when I'm doing something like this, I try to have it on 3 places on my page. It's just more pleasing to the eye, I think, when you have it at least in 3 places. Otherwise, just going about it randomly. Okay, so I've done this. It needs to be completely dry before I do anything else. And when you are using modeling paste or a compound, joint compound, make sure to clean your stencil immediately afterwards. Don't let it dry on it, because it will just damage your stencil. So I'm going to let it dry, and I'm going to clean this. I'll be back. Okay, so I've got a texture in the back that is dry, and I want to add color. I'm going to use watercolors. You don't have to. You can take acrylic paints and dilute them with water. If you have sprays, again, you can use sprays. I just wanted to use my watercolors. I have this set that I bought on AliExpress. There is no brand or name or anything. I just did a search for a watercolor set and picked one. I want my page to start to be with all kinds of greens and blues in the back, and I'm going to change in between. I don't care. I'm taking from one color and putting it in several places, and this is random completely. I don't care. I want splotches of color, and the only thing is that I want to work it while it's wet, so when I change color, like if I will take from this green and put it next to this one, they will blend in between. So I need to work it while it's still wet. I can also, if I see that it's drying very fast because it's a sketch paper, I can also take a bottle of water and spray it on my page to keep it moist. I don't know. So as I said, I'm just changing between colors, greens and blues and whatever whatever I feel like it at that moment. And I'm not I don't care for complete coverage. I like how it goes inside my texture, but I'm not going to worry about white spots that are left. This is very simple and free, and I don't know what else to call it. I don't care. Just having fun with all this paint and color and how they mix. No planning is going into it, just the fun of it. Don't need to know how to work with watercolors, you just need to have fun and put some paint on your page. And as I said, it can be acrylics or sprays, whatever you got. You can use brochures if you have them. Let's see, let's take a little bit of this one. I'm not even concerned about cleaning my brush in between the colors. I think I'll spray a little bit of water just to help everything spread. Almost done. Yeah, I like it. And I've managed to keep some white, the dreaded white space. Okay, so now I do clean my brush because I want to go and add some splatters of orange to my background. So I've cleaned my brush and I'm going for this orange or yellowish orange, I don't know, whatever. Just a little bit more. And I'm just tapping on my brush. I really like it. I think I'll take a little, yeah, from the darker orange also. Just, and I like how it spreads when it's still wet. I'm working on all this when it's wet, and it does the same thing with acrylics. You only have to have a lot of water, that's all. Yeah, I've got this. That's what I wanted. So I'm going to let this completely dry before I continue. I'll be back. I'm back. So this is dry. Now I want to continue, and I'm moving on to what is going to be in the foreground. So I want a moon here, I want a cat here, and probably a branch. So I'm going to do something And I'm starting with just taking this cap, whatever, some lid I had, and I'm making the circle for my moon, and I'm taking this white pearlescent acrylic paint, and I'm just going to color this. And let's take a brush. Now I know it's not opaque, don't care. I want it. I will do 2 coats, but I want some of my background to show through, so that's why I don't care that it's not opaque. I need a better brush than what I had. Let's see, so many brushes and still you never find the one you want when you want it. So first just coloring in, and I will let it dry, and then I'll do another coat. Now I'm not sure yet, maybe I'll add some pattern on top, but right now I'm not sure. I'm just coloring in my moon, and I know it doesn't look like night sky. I don't care. I have a moon with this color in my background. Okay, I'm going to let this dry, and I mostly started with it so I will have it on my page and know where to put my cat. So cat, I wanted some silhouette, some template, and I remembered I had one. I've done one to make this stencil. This is just the template, how I designed the stencil I made, and I had this, but when I've put it on my page, it looked a little bit bigger for my page, so I went around with a pencil and done a little bit smaller cat. Now I want to transfer it to my page, but I don't want to use a copy paper, a carbon paper, whatever you call it, because I don't want the black residue. And I have white one, but it won't show on this page. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to use my water-soluble oil pastels. Oops. And let's see, I'll take the red, because I don't mind if I need this to show on the page, but I don't want something like black, so maybe the darker orange. And I'm going to go over where my line is, like so, and it's like I'm making my own carbon copy paper. Now you can use oil pastels, but just know that the oil pastels will stay. You will have a permanent line. These are water solubles, so some of it will show and some of it will react with whatever watery paint I am going to use. So I've got this, and now I'm going to flip it over like so, and I'm going to trace it. Let's see, that's how I want my cat. Yeah. Now I have texture underneath, so it's a little bit difficult, but I just need a guideline for my cat, and it doesn't have to be precise. I just need a hint of the silhouette to work with. If I wanted something more precise, I could have cut the cat silhouette out of something else, and done it separately. But I want my cat on my page. I want whatever color I'm going to go and color it to react with what I have underneath. Let's see. Yeah, good enough to work with. So I've got the cat silhouette and I'm going to start coloring it, and I'm going to use the watercolors again, and I'm going to use all kind of oranges and reds for a, and maybe some, I don't know what to call it, Bordeaux color. So once again, just playing with the watercolors, only now I'm coloring inside the line of the cat silhouette. Just started with this dark red or Bordeaux or whatever. It really doesn't matter the name. And let's take this orange. It's quite dark orange, and again I'm letting it interact with the color I've put here. I'm letting them blend, and again, like the background, I'm just going to switch between colors. Whatever will be. I will have all kinds of splotches of color inside. You see, I'm just changing colors and having fun with it. And if I feel it's not strong enough, I can always go in and add more color. And I can wait for it to dry and do a second coat. Just letting the colors mix. And I'm not really trying to activate the line. It's okay by me that it's there. And later on I will go in, at least that's the planning. I want to go in and add some doodling to add some visual texture and pattern to my cat. I'm not leaving it as is, so that's why the line doesn't bother me right now. Okay. Next, I really want a lot of splotches of color. And here where I went yellow, I will definitely need something to define the silhouette. Just changing as I go, nothing to it. As I said, you don't need to be an expert or anything on watercolors, just have fun putting down some paint. And if you still don't feel comfortable, oops, I went into the green that I have next to the dark red. I'm cleaning my brush. Okay, while it's still wet, you can always fix it. So what I started to say, if you don't feel comfortable or you don't have watercolors, just use acrylic paints. If you want this effect of transparency, then just add water and again play with it. If you don't like the transparency, then of course you can just color as is. I'm going over here where my color wasn't as strong as I wanted, and I'm adding more. Okay, just in some more places when I don't feel it's strong enough or defined enough or whatever. I'm just adding, and basically that's the start of my cat. I like it, I'm leaving it be. I think I always think that I'm going to stop and then I continue with another something. Okay, so now I want some base for my cat, and I'm going to make some, I don't know, some kind of a branch, and I'm starting with a black, just going very loosely here, putting down black and switching to dark brown, and again it's going to mix on the page with the black. So now I will have a base for my cat to sit on. And as you can see, it's transparent and nothing is yet defined. I don't care, it's just the base. I'm gonna play with it until I'm satisfied with the result. And I can always switch to something else. I can switch to acrylics to make my branch here. I can switch to any kind of marker that I like, just as long as you like it and you have it and you feel comfortable using it. That's it. That's the only rule. Okay, I'm going to let this dry, and then later on I will add details and more definition for what's going on. But now I can go back for the moon and do another coat. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I hope I'm in frame. My camera is always zooming in no matter what I do, and I try to change position. I'm trying to get into all the workings of my phone, and it just nothing does it. Still zooms in, sometimes too much, and I haven't found a way to fix it yet. So I work with what I have. Okay, starting to look better. Going to let it dry again, and also all of this, and then I'm going to start doodling all over. So I'll be back. Okay, so now I haven't mentioned what I used here was a pearl white, and now I'm going to use this moss pearl just to give it a little bit more, I don't know. Oops, forgot to shake it, so it won't be the all solid color. So I'm adding a little bit of this. I'm hoping that it would be more defined towards here, and that I will have variation in the color and not just one round blob in the same color. Well, I hope you see it. I do. Maybe I will add something later. Now I want to doodle all over my cat. I took just a regular felt pen, and what I'm trying to do is add details, but I don't want it to overwhelm. I just want it to create some pattern on, and also that it will give definition. And I'm just going to go like this so it will be easier. And I'm going also over the outline. That's why I didn't care about the outline that was before from the water soluble oil pastels, because I knew I was going to go over it and add all kinds of stuff. So I've got texture here, so it's a little bit more difficult, and it's still a little bit wet in several places, but I'll just keep on working it. And there is no planning, I'm just going to do what comes to me. I don't know, maybe just go with all kinds of shapes. That will go with the general shape. I don't know, I'm just playing. I could go with swirls, I could have done many things. It really doesn't matter as long as you are satisfied with what's going on. I have here, it's still wet where the texture is, so I need to continue to another area. I'm going to go over the outline so my cat will take more shape on the page. Okay. You can use whatever marker you have. It doesn't have to be a felt pen. And for cat silhouettes, there are almost so many printables out there. Just do a search for free printables or even coloring pages. There are so many free printables, coloring pages, and just print whatever you want and trace the outline. You don't need the coloring page, you just need the outline for a silhouette. Or you can take the coloring page, color it, and cut the cat out and glue it to your page. Just one more way to go about it, and it doesn't have to be a cat. Okay, so I've got some definition to my cat here. I think here I will go with the texture that I have and trace it. And add more details. Go with the flow, don't overthink it. Don't know how much of it you can see, but I'm going with the texture I have here. Coloring some of it and adding some details that will go with the same pattern. And it's still wet here. It lifted some of the paint and went into the joint compound. So I've got my work cut out for me, and I'm going to go and doodle all over this cat, so it's going to take some time. And I'm going to do the same thing to my branch, just so it will have more definition and more detail. I'm just going with the same marker because the color just fits. But I can change it if I wanted to. If I want to, I can change to black if I want it more prominent on the page. I've picked this particular color just because I thought it gives me enough detail without overwhelming the page. Okay, so I'm going to continue doodling and I'm going to come back. Okay, so finished doodling. It took some time, and now I want to add some details to this moon and the branch. So for the moon, I am thinking I will use this stencil I have and just take some kind of ink pad and stencil. I'm just not sure if I can use the distress ink on top of the acrylic paint I have here. I'm going to try. If it doesn't work, then I'll change to something else. So I'm taking this weathered wood distress ink pad, and I'm taking a makeup sponge, and let's hope it will work. So I'm dabbing it quite gently. I'm not looking to color it all of it. I want it to be very, very light. Let's see, yeah, a little bit more. Towards the edge, I'm pressing it a little bit harder. And that's it, yeah. Some kind of pattern that will define more this. And for the branch, I just took some markers I have, and I'm just going to draw some lines to make my branch a little bit more interesting and with some kind of a pattern again. Just some wavy lines. I haven't done anything else. Maybe this gray, just to add a little bit more. Okay, last thing, I'm going to use my Stabilo all-purpose pencil. It reacts with water. I just want a little bit of shadow here where my cat is, and again I'm having a little bit of difficulty because I have texture here, so I'm putting this here under my cat, and I will activate it with water. Let's hope it will work. Again, it's a little bit difficult with the texture. Okay. Just spreading it. Maybe I just need a non-porous surface. Maybe I'll do like this, and now I'll take some of it. Yeah. If something doesn't work, change and try something else. Almost done. You don't have to have a Stabilo all-purpose. I could have reached and took some black watercolor or from an ink pad like the Distress ink. They also react with water. I thought it would be easier with my Stabilo all-purpose. Yeah. I think this is it. I'm going to let it be. Enough is enough for this page. And I got really tired just doodling. It took a lot of time, but it was worth it. So this is it. That's my page. I hope you like it. I hope you have fun playing with watercolors or anything else that reacts with water. So thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving me comments down below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.